In this episode, we are going to take a look on how to display text in Arcade. We already used text drawing, for example in video number 13 or 14, and we use this Arcade draw text function. But this method is slow, so you should use this method only for debugging. And now we are going to take a look on how to use the text object in Arcade. But before I continue, I just added few lines of code here. So I created this layer options dictionary and I added these keys. So the ground, the other and the dead, which are the layers created in tiled editor. And I set these values, the spatial hash, to true. So these will actually improve the collision detection if you have a non-moving sprite. So let me hover over on this load tile map, and here you can read about the use spatial hash. If it is set to true, this will make moving a sprite in a sprite list slower, but it will speed up collision detection with items in a sprite list. So because the ground and the other and also the dead layers, none of these layers are moving, I'm just going to set their spatial hash to true. And here, when I load this tile map, I'm going to pass to the layers option parameter the layers option or layer options. Okay, so let's get started with the text drawing. And here in the init method of the GameView class, I already added this comment, so here we are going to create a text object. But first of all, I'm just going to create one property, and this will be the death count. So this will count how many times Greenie dies, and it will display it on the upper left corner of the window. So let's create the text object itself, and I'm just going to call it self.deadText and arcade.text. And this needs several parameters. Let me go hover over with the mouse. So the text, XY position, you can also set its color, which is by default set to white, font size, width, alignment, and so on. So the font name, italic, if it is bold or italic, and so on. So let me set first the text, and this will be an f string, and it will contain the death count string and also the death count property. And I'm going to set it to the position 10 on X, 680 on Y, and I'm going to set its color to arcade color yellow, and the font size I'm going to set it to 20. And lastly, I'm just going to set its alignment. So you can set it like this: align equals left, and you have left, center and right as far as I remember. And now let's draw this dead text. So let's go to the onDraw method and just call the dead text the draw. And this will already draw here in the upper left corner. Death count is 0. Let me increase this death count whenever Greenie dies. So here in the onUpdate function, if SowHit is true, we are resetting the Greenie's position, and we are adding to death count 1. And also set death count or the death text. So self.deadText.text, an f string death count, and the new death count here. And now let me try it, although it is still not going to work properly, because as you can see, the text also scrolls with the camera. So if Greenie dies, as you can see now, the death count is 1, and now it is 2. So let's also move this death count together with the camera. So for that, I'm just going to create one more function or method here in the GameView class. So move text with camera, and this returns none. And I'm just going to set the self.deadText.x property equal to camera.center_left.x plus 10, and also call this function or this method in the onUpdate method. So after panning the camera, we are going to call the move text with camera. And now let me try it. And as you can see now, the text is scrolling together with the camera. So let me kill Greenie. Now the death count is 1. Now it is 2, and so on. Of course, one more thing, if you want to set also the Y value, although it is not needed, but for example, if Greenie is too high, on a platform. For example, let's go here, up. Now as you can see, as Greeny jumps, the dead count text position changes. So we should also make this in the move text with camera. So self.deadText y will be equal to self.camera.topCenter.y minus 40. And now the text will be always in the same position. As I jump, as you can see. Okay, let's add one more text to it. So I'm going to create one more property here, and this will be the collected coins. Later I'm going to add coins to be collected. And the text will be self.collectedCoins text, also using arcade.text object. And this will display as an F string, collected coins, and the number of collected coins. And this will be in position 10 on X and 640 on Y. It will be also yellow, its font size is 20, and it's also aligned to left. And now also draw this text in the onDraw method. So self.collectedCoins text.draw. Of course, we still have to move this text also with Greeny. So let me do this. I mean move the text with the camera. So here in the move text with camera method, I'm just going to add 2 more lines. And this will be the self.collectedCoin text.x. And we are going to set its position to self.camera center left.x plus 10. And on the y, it will be self.collectedCoins text y will be equal to self.camera top center.y minus 80. And now this text will also scroll with the camera. And one more thing I'm just going to add to it, that if I go to the onDraw method, as you can see now we have 2 draw calls. So let's add these text objects to a batch and draw the batch. So we will have only one draw call for all the text. For that we have to import from Pyglet the batch object. So from pyglet.graphics import batch, and here in the init method I'm just going to create a batch object. So self.textBatch equals batch. And now when we are creating this text object, it has a property called batch, and we are going to set this to the text batch we created here on line 67. And also do this for the second text, which is the collected coins text. Okay, so now that we have created this batch object and we added both of these text to this batch, here instead of calling these 2 draw calls, I'm just going to call the self.textBatch.draw method. And this will draw the 2 texts with only one draw call.